Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams. Ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Yeah.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Charles, this was a brother in North Carolina, a landscaper who threw one of the biggest house parties, I think, in North Carolina's history. He was hired to cut the lawn, mow the lawn, blow the leaves, and edge up the yard. And he decided while the people were out of town on vacation, which he was aware of, that he was going to throw a house party. The lawn man got him a mansion and a house party. Let me say this to the lawn man, dear brother Michael Brown. Negro, you going to the penitentiary. They are going to stick you under the jail so low and so tight, they about to pump sunlight to you just to survive. He is crazy as hell. If there's an F up of the day, brother, you win that award hands down, because if this fool think that these people are not going to crucify him for this, he's crazy as hell. But I'm angry because why do that in North Carolina when you could have came to Houston and threw it at Charles's house?
Yeah, first of all,
I'd tell you he was on vacation.
I live in the city of Houston in a wonderfully diverse community. The last show we were talking about diversity in communities inside the city. There's someone at this table that lives in a big mansion in suburbia. It is not me. And in fact, I think you're making assumptions.
I'm on 14 acres. How's that suburbia?
Okay, that's suburbia. You live
14
in
acres
suburbia.
is suburbia.
You live right outside. Doesn't it?
14 acres
just
is suburbia.
because you spend a lot of money on a big piece of land. But anyway, let's. Okay, first of all, I think you're trying to imply that this was a white homeowner. The homeowner's son was interviewed, John Tay, and pointed out that Mr. Brown did not have permission, which actually contravenes some public statements that this guy has said. He said, I still have the account. I had permission to throw the party. He was throwing the party for his son's high school graduation, right? But for some reason, he was charging money. Apparently, he collected about $3,000 to throw this party at this $4 million home.
Probably a cleanup fee.
Apparently,
cleanup fee.
He claimed that it was for security. But obviously the neighbors were upset by the 300-400 people that were there.
Too many black folks at the pool party.
Again, I knew that was coming. It was a black family's mansion. I know you pretend that black people ain't rich.
Still a black family mansion, but in a white, predominantly family neighborhood.
You don't know anything about the neighborhood. You're just making it up.
Charles,
that's the whole thing.
You ain't got a bunch of black millionaires living on the same block in North Carolina.
Okay.
In North Carolina, come on, Charles.
This is just you being a racist against black people.
But did he have permission, though?
No, he didn't. That's why they pressed charges.
You sure he had permission?
But no, he claimed that he had permission.
Because he might not be guilty.
Well, see, I imagine if he had any permission, he probably said, hey, man, can I use the pool when y'all are out of town? You know,
well, they told him, okay, and have a few guests and bring your son by. He didn't know it was going to get out of hand. He might not be guilty, but I'll take my words back if you're not guilty. I really do.
He advertised
but I wouldn't know about this party.
He charged entry, and he made a bunch of money.
What's wrong with that?
And they destroyed the property.
That's for the cleanup fee. The $3,000 he made, probably made more than that. That's part of the cleanup fee.
So if you're a yard guy, what is his name? What's your yard guy's name? What's your yard guy's name?
Bill.
His yard guy's name is not Bill. Bill. His yard guy's name, what's his last name?
Bill Warburg. Mr. Warburg cuts my grass.
He is making up.
And I sit out there on my porch with a glass of lemonade with a stick in my hand the whole time he cutting. So he don't miss a patch.
So Bill Warburg, right, knew you were going out of town. Let's say you're going to watch your wonderful son play for Deion Sanders next year. You're in Colorado. We're going to Colorado. I don't want to say which game. There's a game we're going to, right?
We'll see you down there.
Let's say that you and I are just chilling in Boulder, Colorado, watching some football, and you get on your ring cam, and you see 300-400 people. Is Mr. Warburg a white guy? It sounds like a white name.
Mr. Warburg. Why are you being a racist?
Okay, it sounds like a white
name.
name.
Don't bring up the color of my yard, man.
Okay, so if Mr. Warburg,
might be his alias.
If he had like 400, I've seen his yard crew. I'm guessing their name is of a more Latino flavor.
You've been racist.
But let's say Mr. Warburg.
White folks can't cut grass?
Yes, they can. I had a grass cutting business. I know you don't know nothing about hard work.
50 years
but
ago?
I had a grass cutting business in junior high and high school. Chuck and Dan's lawn mowing services. But
Chuck and Dan?
Chuck and Dan's
Who in the
lawn
hell
mowing
was Chuck?
services. I was Chuck.
Your name is Charles, you damn Chuck.
Okay. Anyhow, it looked good on the flyer. Sounded like a working man. Anyhow, if Mr. Warburg had 400 of his cracker friends over there, and they were drinking Chardonnays and White Claws, and old ladies were getting butt naked in your jacuzzi, would you be okay with it?
Well, let me tell you what I would do. I would call my supreme captain, and I would call the minister of defense for the new Black Panther Nation.
Okay, and then you get them.
And I would give a direct order to immediately get to my property. First things first, take a picture of everybody's license plates, get as many pictures of every vehicle that's there, so when I file my lawsuit, I can sue every damn body who went to my house.
So and why are you defending Michael Brown?
And then what I would do,
because you thought it was a white family.
Whoop all them white folks off my property. Whoop them all off my property.
But just a minute ago, you were sticking up for Michael Brown because you thought he was doing it to whitey.
He might have permission. He said he had permission.
So if Bill Warburger said he had permission, if he said, can I have some people over to the pool?
Let me tell you something. If Hector bring them folks to my
house,
I'm sorry, Bill.
We got to the truth. If Hector did it, if Hector was down there having a quinceañera at your house, if they had the Modelo out, boom, they had the music going, you'd be throwing a fit.
I'm calling ICE.
Exactly.
I'm calling ICE. If you do me like that, as good as I've been to you, I'm calling them masked men.
You just called Hector Bill Warburger for like 7 minutes. You denied Hector's existence. I didn't want to put his name in the streets, right?
I call him Bill.
You call him Bill?
He looks like a Caucasian.
Okay, looks Caucasian. He's a güero?
The what?
He's a güero?
I don't know what that is.
How you gonna live in Houston and not know güero is?
I don't know what that is.
That's a white Latino.
White Latino, that's a coconut. Brown on the outside and white on the inside.
I'm talking white skin, blue eyes. You don't hang out with enough people of color. You don't hang out with enough Latinos in our wonderful, robust, diverse community.
It makes me wonder just how much real damage was done to the property, though.
Well, it sounds like a lot. They charged him with a bunch of crimes.
With a bunch of crimes? What did they charge him with?
They charged him.
I thought it was only one crime.
Unauthorized. No, it was like 4 crimes. Let's see.
What's the charges?
I'm going to flip
Unauthorized party?
No, it was
not guilty. Illegal house party.
Right, you're only taking his side because he's got dreadlocks and he's black, and he did this to black folk.
Did what?
He did this to black people.
He might have had permission.
Okay, but you wouldn't be defending Hector or Bill Warburger.
But the numbers got bigger.
Okay. Anyhow, look, I hope this guy does in fact get in trouble. I think it's disgusting. These poor people.
Get you a good lawyer, my brother. Get you a good lawyer. Y'all work this out.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Well, on Fox Face-Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face-Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide Fox Soul Face-Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Let me get this straight. Karmelo Anthony's family raised over $538,000 for his defense through Gibson to Go. They just upped it to $1.4 million, and Karmelo just filed an indigent packet, which basically is saying that he's financially destitute and doesn't have enough money for his own defense. But he has an attorney. I think his last name is Howard. His retainer is like between $10,000 to $30,000, $400 or $500 an hour. But didn't y'all just buy a house and a car? What makes this funnier? I gotta take my glasses off for this. Black people. It makes it hilarious. Cause now the same people that was like, he ain't do nothing, it's self-defense. They're the main ones. Oh, this hell no. I ain't donating. What y'all do with all the money? Black people down 100 this year so far.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
Okay, so there is a Twitter X, I guess it's called X now, investigative reporter that is being cited in the wider media for her what she calls the fruit of an investigation. Her name is Sarah Fields. That she determined that there was an indigent application package filed by Karmelo Anthony in the county where he has been recently indicted for murder, right? Now, there are possibilities, right? When you are charged with a serious crime like this, there could be a lot of experts that you have to hire, and there are cases where you can be with a hired attorney and file an application to get the state to pay for your investigator or expert testimony, claiming that it's beyond your financial wherewithal. If you'll remember, one of the reasons the judge greatly reduced his bond from $1 million to $250,000 was a claim of indigency. What I find more profane, whether he's actually trying to get a court-appointed lawyer or he's merely trying to get court-appointed investigators and court-appointed experts, or this Sarah Fields has gotten the story completely wrong. What I find more obscene is going back to the well and the great compassion of the American people who said, and this seems to be racially driven, who said, let's give all this money to this family, and then they've just asked for almost triple what they've already been given, right? They got about 500, now they're all asking for almost $1.5 million. At some point, people need to, one, investigate the case. It does sound like if you read those handful of journalists that have seen the video, it does seem like the whole narrative of, like you were pushing, that both the brothers attacked him with both physical violence and racism, that's all kind of seems to go out the window, and it does seem like it was a completely just horrible act of violence that was not predicated by any violence on the part of the victim, Austin Metcalf, who is the victim here. I hope that he's not trying to get a court-appointed attorney after these piles of money. If that turns out to be true, it's disgusting. You've indicated you have some inside knowledge on this?
You sat in that same chair shortly after Karmelo Anthony was bailed out of jail. Mm-hmm. And you lied on his family.
No, I didn't.
And you patroned the same lie and championed the same lie that went out in the public, that when they said that they were financially indigent and really could not make that bond, we only later learned that they had not taken one penny from the money that was raised. Let me know they did not. The money had not been turned over to them. Not a single penny had been turned over to them. You say that the father spent this and they bought a car and bought a house.
No, I didn't.
You said the same thing sitting right there.
You said it sitting
right in this chair.
Go back and look at the episode. You're lying.
And Charles,
again.
you did say that the father had access to his money.
But you're lying
Not
again.
a penny was given to the family. Not a penny. Because it hadn't been turned over yet.
Why do they
now
need
let's talk about
million
this.
now?
Let's talk about this money.
Yeah, let's. Now that you're done lying, let's get to
Let's
the
talk
point.
about this money. Because I was right the first time I told you
we're gonna
this.
stick with
I was
the money.
right.
Okay.
You were wrong.
No.
Now, let me tell you something.
Go watch the episode. He's
in
engaging
speaking
in
with a member of
fabulism.
his family about this recent issue about the money, and to my dear sister who made the TikTok black woman, black folks are not down 100. Negroes are down 100, but black folks are standing tall and standing strong.
Well,
there's a big difference.
Wait, you think there's a difference
but I
between
would say,
what you call?
But I would say
I'm
this.
not going to say that. and
There's a
other
big
black
difference
people?
between Negroes and black people. Yes.
Okay, so
but
if a
let me
white
say
person
this.
were to say
Slow
there's
down
a
one
big
second.
difference between,
Do you all want to know where the money went?
okay, tell me.
Carmelo Anthony's lawyer made it crystal clear to the family that if they took any of the money that was raised, it would lend a bad image and bad appearance to the family. That money has been given to the lawyers. Hold on. They've brought other lawyers on to the case that are even more expensive than the initial lawyer who was on the case. And they also said that that money that was raised would be just enough to pay for the attorney's fees. And it probably would exceed that in this case. And now they're talking about hiring all type of different experts to assist them in the case. The family has not spent any of that damn money. I was told that they spent less than 10% on themselves that was raised out of this money, that 90% of them has gone toward his legal defense.
Okay.
And so to this woman, Miss Fields, you write this, never speaking to his lawyers and getting some clarity, never speaking to Carmelo Anthony's family because you're a white-wing conservative white woman reporter, and now you try to paint this negative narrow image of this young black man because you don't like Carmelo Anthony. This story is yet another lie being put on the family about them misusing funds and misusing money. It was a lie the first time, and I'm telling you it's a lie again today. And I assure you, when the attorney's bills are released of what they've paid them, you're going to see the truth.
Okay, it's odd because initially you said they didn't touch any of the money.
They
Then
didn't.
in the same conversation,
When he bonded out, they
You
didn't.
said they only touched 10% of the money and used the
That
other
was
90%.
after he bonded out,
Okay.
and they moved
So,
that to help
okay,
relocate.
But, hold
But
on.
they didn't spend no
Hold
more
on.
than 10%.
I mean,
up to this date, 10%.
I'm lost because
The most is all that's going to the
because
lawyers.
The dad's a professional. He's got a good
He has
job.
not really been going to work since this situation happened. He took a voluntary leave of absence.
I absolutely doubt your assertion.
But
that
you
they
got
haven't
it the
touched
first
any
time, and I
more
was
of the
right.
money. No, you weren't right.
You claimed that
And
they
you're
spent all
claiming
this,
I
they
see
had
a
all
fact.
this money.
I didn't
You
say
claimed that they lied in the
Again,
affidavit, that they had all of this money, that they lied to the court, they had all of this money, and it was not a lie. They didn't have a penny of that money.
I hope the viewers.
It had been turned over.
I hope the
Go
viewers
back and
go
watch
back and
it.
watch the episode.
He said that Carmelo's daddy and parents lied to the court
I did
about
not.
how much money they had, and they didn't have a
absolutely
damn
did not.
dime.
I absolutely did not. But they had access to that capital, right? And the capital was raised for the purposes of Carmelo Anthony. And their argument
that was
in
for his
court,
defense.
Their argument in court was that it wasn't raised for the purpose of bond. But if that capital is accessible, right, it had to be considered. Now, the judge could have reduced the bond for other reasons, right? But claiming and now asking America, and specifically Black America.
Why you say just black people?
Well, because that's their target
Because they're
audience.
black?
No, it's clearly.
So when white folks raise money for their defense, their target audience are white people?
I am talking about the exploitation of black Americans' empathy for other black Americans, because that's what the Anthony family is doing.
So you
to
gonna sit
raise
here
that number to
and accuse
1.4
black
million.
folks of exploiting other
I'm
black
not-
folks in this case for empathy.
I am.
But white people didn't do that when they raised $750,000 for that white woman called the black baby, the N-word.
I never said that.
Over $1 million for George Zimmerman.
I never said
Look
that.
how much money raised for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Again,
That's
never
not
said
exploiting
that.
white sympathy.
It most certainly is. I never said it wasn't. See, you have to
didn't
predicate
spend his
everything.
money.
You have to predicate everything on a lie and interrupt me and shout me down.
Stop making like the
because,
family spent this money. They did not.
You don't have any idea, and in fact, you've already conceded that they did. And I would argue that I'm pretty familiar with the cost of defending murderers, and it's not $1.4 million. And if he did, in fact, file an indigency application with over $500,000 already raised, that is insane. And it's
not if he's hired a legal team.
Hopefully the judge
and they're
will
telling
deny
him
it.
that this
Well,
money is being controlled by the lawyers to pay for legal expenses. That's not controlled by Karmelo's Anthony family.
Yeah, but if you look at the
it's not controlled by the family.
If you look at the Give, Send, Go, they're asking for housing, security, living costs, and all kind of stuff. Now, if you believe the words they're saying to raise money, right? And I just hope more people of any color aren't foolish enough to give this family any more of their money.
Be honest with me about something.
Go.
Have you not seen lawyers in high-profile cases exploit clients when it comes to the amount of money it takes to represent them?
Oh, well, certainly. It's disgusting. Okay, and I've seen lawyers encourage clients to go raise money like this, and I think it's
to shake them down.
And I've seen, there's no shortage of obscene behaviors by lawyers, but here I think that the apple did not fall far from the tree. And I think this is the only person being shaken down. It's not one individual. It's the audience of the Anthonys who are believing this nonsense lie that if you believe any of the reporters that actually sat down with the video, it does seem like he just pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest.
Well, our producer promised to send in a request so that we could watch the video together and come back to our audience and tell the people what we've seen. I'm still waiting for us to possibly do that if we're allowed to, which they promised, the Frisco School District promised anybody who makes a request can watch the video. So I'm still waiting to go to Dallas because when we see it, I'm gonna come back and tell you exactly what I saw. Whether good for him or bad for him, I'll tell you what I saw.
Okay, well, the journalists who've seen it have all been very clear that it does not appear good for Mr.
And how many black journalists have seen it?
I don't know the race. I
ain't seen no black journalists say that.
Unlike you, I ain't
seen no black journalists say that.
Well, if it's available to all journalists, right, or even
like this racist white woman who wrote this article, not having all the facts.
How do you know she's racist?
She's absolutely racist.
How do you know?
Because she painted a narrative, never speaking to his defense attorneys about the money, never speaking with the family about the money. They didn't. The family told me she didn't talk to him.
Okay.
They wrote this damn article without ever speaking to the family or speaking to the lawyers.
If she went to the court records at Collin County up there and looked through the file and saw that there was an indigent application that's recently dated.
You still got to gather the facts.
Don't you think that's news?
You still got to gather the facts.
Don't you think it's obscene?
It's only news when you do your quote-unquote investigative work and gather the facts and present a complete, full investigative story, not this BS.
Don't you think it would be disgusting?
Remember, she's a conservative, right-wing reporter who has these right-wing beliefs, these conservative beliefs.
How do you know?
And how many of them like black people?
Okay. Again, there are plenty of conservatives
who like black people.
Yes,
that's a damn lie.
And there are plenty of black conservatives, right? You just called them all kinds of names. Which
boggles
boggles my mind
now you lied.
because you a Trumper.
Now you lied.
What?
There are plenty of Negro conservatives that are black.
It's crazy how
but there's very few
not only
black people that are conservative that's members of the conservative Republican Party. Black people are conservative with their beliefs and spiritual ideas and family practices and family concepts. But black folks being members who are conservative, a part of the Republican Party, no, I don't think so. But you got more Negroes that's a part of the Republican Party masquerading as black people. And trust me, there is a significant difference between a Negro and a black person.
Right, I've heard that argument made by racist white people, right? The racist white people love to say, oh, well, I don't mean the good blacks, I just mean these. And they use a variant of the word you just used. It's offensive, right? And if someone were to say that to me, I would say that's disgusting racism. But it's shocking to come from you, right?
The word Negro was invented by white people.
Okay, because it would be disgusting
racism. Negro is a white man's creation.
It would be a disgusting argument for a white man to say, or any person of any color, to say, oh, there are good blacks and then there are just bad blacks.
Do you know what a Negro is?
Yeah, I know what the term
Do you know what a
Negro
is?
And you're not using the word you want to use.
When you look at Senator Tim Scott, you looking at a bona fide, legitimate Negro.
Okay, because he's a black man that disagrees with you.
When Trump said, you must hate her, he said, no, I just love you. That's a bona fide Negro. That's Uncle Ruckus live and in color.
See, I don't agree with Tim Scott's politics. I'm more of a left-leaning centrist. But again, it's profane for you to call him names because you don't agree with this call.
That's a legitimate handkerchief head, boot-licking head, bowing Negro.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love your mind.
That's it for the Face Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love your mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Karmelo Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't it alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 9:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul. The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for The Factor Uncensored. A reminder tonight, there's nothing wrong with balling on a budget, but there's a lot of people out there faking a lavish lifestyle to impress others. You know who you are. While they are secretly being driven into debt, and that's definitely not a good thing. Now, according to my next guest, trying to keep up with the Joneses just isn't worth it.
Well, the gang's all here, and guys, we're talking about those poor individuals out there who may be living beyond their means. They are wearing the Gucci belts, the Louis Vuitton shoes. I guess, do they have Louis Vuitton shoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still paying on them.
What's that?
I'm still